Good evening. Today we have with us Mr. Percy Avari, the country manager India for Aramex. Hello, sir.
Today everyone is talking about the e-commerce boom that has hit India. How much of that is true and how much is a myth?
I can say the boom is very much there. The reason we can easily see it is we handle the actual shipment, which is the end result of the outcome. So we have been seeing shipments over the last 1.5 year, 2 years time, increasing on a monthly basis. So it's not a trend which happens over every 6 months or so, but literally every month we have new companies coming into us and growing their business, and existing companies multiplying the business more than 3-4 times on a regular basis. So yes, the boom is very much there. Whether it's going to be sustainable is something which I would not be able to comment on easily, but the boom surely is there.
You talked about handling the shipments. What is the traction that you see? So can you give me a number or a percentage of the growth?
Let's put it this way, somewhere between June 2010 and June 2011, if I look at my numbers have grown close to 4 to 5 times over the 2 time spans.
Okay.
That's the kind of growth I'm talking about over here.
Okay. So what exactly is your business model?
Our business model is a model where the principal nerve centers are controlled by Aramex through their own systems and their own teams and own offices, and the peripherals are developed through partners who are our franchisees. So it's a model where we have got our own offices in critical locations. So all the metros and mini metros, you would find an Aramex office. Those offices would take care of the operations in that location, as well as control the smaller towns ahead of the mini metros or metros. And there we develop a lot of franchisees, and that's why we believe our model is well suited to the demands of the e-commerce industry in India, because if you have to really grow fast, a company will either have to set up 800, 900 more offices across the semi-urban areas, or do it in a model of our kind where you find the right partner, you train him, you give him the technology, you give him the experience, and then let him service that particular location.
Okay. So in terms of your footprint in India, what exactly is it? How many offices or how much manpower do you have?
Today, if I look at Aramex footprints in India, we are talking of around 975 locations that we deliver in India.
Okay.
We have a manpower count of close to 1,000 people who are directly employed by Aramex. If I were to include my franchisees into it, the count would go up to close to 4,000 people.
Okay. So any expansion plans?
It's an ongoing process. So literally every quarter we have a new office opening up or a new franchise location opening up. Okay. It's an ongoing process. The way we see it, by end of next year we should have at least doubled our locations.
Okay. Doubled as in from 900 to 1800?
That's right.
Okay. And so any investment plans?
We are investing heavily in infrastructure in India. So we are setting up warehouses in India with state-of-the-art facility. We already have the first one up and running in Mumbai, Delhi and Bangalore. We are looking at increasing the capacities of those warehouses, as well as setting up more warehouses across the other metros and mini towns also.
Okay.
We are also investing heavily in technology. We are coming in with scanners for our ground couriers. We are coming in with credit card swipers where payments can be collected at the doorstep of the customer.
Okay.
In case he is apprehensive of using the card online.
Okay.
So we are giving multiple options and investing in technology over there.
Okay. Oh, so who are your competitors in the market?
Our competitors would be companies like Federal Express, DHL Blue Dart, TNT.
So what is your market share in terms, you talked about your competitors, what is your market share?
See, it's very difficult to define a market share with regards to e-commerce, because these numbers are not separately available by e-commerce companies. They don't share it with us, saying what percentage they give to Aramex or a DHL Blue Dart or to another company. But I can comfortably say we are a first choice to most e-commerce companies. Prima facie, because we have been in this business since 2002, as I explained earlier, and we understand the business demands, we understand the customer requirements, and we are open to customizing solutions to meet with the client's business model.
Okay.
So today we have new customers, existing customers increasing their shares with us.
So can you name your customers?
We deal with the likes of eBay, Rediff, India Times, which are marketplaces. Two companies like Flipkart, companies like Infibeam, companies like. It would be unfair if I would miss out on some companies, but I would say most leading companies as well as new entrants are already dealing with Aramex.
Okay. So have you raised any funds?
We are a global company which is listed on the Dubai financial market, so we are a public company and the funds come through into the stock exchange financing.
Okay. Are there any plans to raise funds? No.
Specifically for India, there's a lot of investment coming, but we are a 100% subsidiary of the global company, so the funds come in from the parent company.
So is there actually a need for a logistics company? Because many of the players, they're actually handling their own logistics.
I think not too many are actually handling their own logistics. That's one. Second is people are experimenting on this, and there are a lot of implications involved in it. One, it requires the technology in terms of track and trace, which is not easy to develop. It requires a lot of investments and time to evolve into it. Two, you deal with huge number of people, so there's a huge hire issue. Now, how capable would a company be who's been handling maybe 50, 100 employees, handling 1,000 plus employees? Three, do you have the volumes to justify creating your own team? In China, it was easier for companies which used to ship maybe a couple of 100,000 shipments a month to build their own network. But till you don't get to that scale, and when you get to the scale, are you going to restrict your teams to 5-6 cities, or are you going to take it to 1,000 cities? To build 1,000 cities, Aramex took 8 years. Do you have that time, the investments and the infrastructural patience to build on it? Is something I think the e-commerce companies would have to look at.
So what is your revenue model?
Okay, our revenue model is one, we charge for the freight of the shipment we deliver. So there is a charge on the freight based on the actual weight of the shipment, which would be charged either on a half kilo basis, or if the shipments are very big, on a per kilo basis. Then there is a charge for value added services. So if you're giving them a value added service in terms of maybe managing the inventory, then we charge them for the inventory management, which is again dependent upon how much space they utilize in our warehouses and how much pick and packs we do for them. If we provide them with a cash on delivery, then there is a cash on delivery charge, which is linked to the value of the shipments that we collect, which is a percentage of the value of the shipment we collect.
So what is the potential for growth of a logistics company in India?
There's a huge opportunity available, but requires a lot of investment in creating the infrastructure, creating the technology, and that's why you don't see too many new entrants in this business. Literally, you can count in single digits new entrants into the logistics industry on an annual basis. Okay. I'm referring more focused on the e-commerce vertical. On the e-commerce side, new entrants on the organized side with a pan-India presence, with the technology requirement, with everything built into it, are limited.
Okay. So what are the challenges that you face? Why this limitation?
As I said, one is the investment. You're required to set up offices, you're required to set up technology, you're required to set up your lease lines, communication mechanism, computers and things like that. Huge investment requirements over there. Two, requiring a huge amount of manpower to be managed. IR issues related to that. Three is the market still is on the evolving phase. So whether somebody should invest on building a logistics company to service e-commerce companies is something people are still apprehensive about on the logistical side of it. Now, since we have been doing it over the last 8 years, we know the opportunities and we are ready to invest in it. So it's more a combination of availability of funds, ability to do that, and ready to take the risk.
Okay. So what would you advise new players who plan to enter the market? Logistics company.
Logistics company. From a logistics companies, there is a huge opportunity available over here. This part of the business is going to keep growing over the next 3 to 4 years' time. We are going to see a lot of companies increasing the existing business by multiple times. So there's going to be sufficient scope for new entrants also, provided you have the capability to invest and the patience to build the network.
Since you already have a very strong logistics department, is there a chance that Aramex actually gets into the e-commerce sector as a player?
If I had to do that, I would be in pharmaceutical, I would need to be in telecom, because we service every kind of industry. Okay. So our core competency is logistics, and we would prefer focusing on logistics as a core competency. However, having said that, we do use e-commerce to support a lot of parts of our business. Okay. So we use the e-commerce part to support our entire tracking mechanism, which is again on electronic media. Okay. We use e-commerce extensively to be in touch with our customers. So we use social medias like your Facebooks, your Twitters extensively to be able to communicate with our customers, the ultimate customers. Also, we have a product called Shop and Ship, which is a B2C product of Aramex. Normally our products are all B2B. But Shop and Ship is a B2C product. We allow individuals to register with Aramex and get a virtual address in US, UK and China, which they can use when they want to shop online globally. So it's like this, you come and register with Aramex Shop and Ship, and I give you an address in these 3 locations. The next time you are shopping online, let's say on a portal which is a US portal, you don't need to see whether the portal delivers to you into India and what they're going to charge, because naturally the business model is to make money on that. What you do is you give the address of your virtual address in Aramex office over there as your address. Okay. The portal will ship it to Aramex, and then Aramex will consolidate and bring it to you, custom clear it and deliver it at your doorstep.
So will it be cheaper?
It will be extensively cheaper. Okay. Because our business model is to make money on our freight, and we are very clear saying we don't want to mark up over there. We have a cost plus model, and our cost plus model, it works out much cheaper than companies who charge you extra on the freight. Okay.
And this registry process, is this chargeable or is it free of cost?
There's a one-time lifetime membership fee. Currently it's $30 for a lifetime account, which gives you 3 addresses, one in JFK, one in London, one in Shanghai. Okay. And then there is a charge every time you ship a product on a per kilo basis again.
Okay. So where do you see the e-commerce sector 5 years from now?
I see the numbers going exponentially up, but I believe over a period of time we would see some consolidation over here. So a lot of companies being acquired by bigger companies. As at the same time, we will see a lot of companies who are into physical retail shifting and looking at a larger share out of the e-commerce side also. Although the trend is already started with some groups of the Future Group or Shopper Stop already into it. But the investments you would see in this over times to come is going to be much more than what you see today.
So do you feel that the boom will last, or is it just a bubble ready to burst?
No, I don't think. Okay, there would be some small bubbles here and there of entrepreneurs starting off something without having a proper understanding of the business model and going bust. But industry as a whole is here to stay.
So what are your expectations? What are Aramex expectations of the future?
It's very simple. I think e-commerce company needs to look at the logistics partner not as a vendor but as a partner. And if you work together, it's going to be much easier for you to meet the customer expectations of yours than dealing with them on a standalone basis. I'll tell you why I say this. We have a lot of companies who do not share information with us on what their plans are and what is going to happen. And one fine day, we see a company which used to ship maybe mobile phones, loading maybe 1,000 pillows onto our office, saying these need to be delivered. And our infrastructure is designed based on current trends. And if you're going to have a campaign and you're not sharing the campaign information with us, not letting us know what to expect.
Okay. So like you just mentioned, that there's a problem of information sharing not being there. Add to that the infrastructure challenges that are already there in the country, in India, for the logistics. Do you actually feel this will be a long-term profitable business model?
Yes, profitability, yes. No company will be here for charity and do something. So profitability is going to be there. Infrastructure, yes, there is a challenge, but I don't think infrastructure is such a major challenge as the tax structure is today from the industry standpoint and a logistics perspective. So I think the bigger hurdle today for most e-commerce company when it comes to logistics is the tax requirements in most of the states, which actually becomes a hurdle for them to sell over there. Now, having said that, GST when it's launched may allow you to get to the next stage, but whether it would do it or not and when it would do it, the information is not fully available today. So time will tell whether the tax regulations will change and the e-commerce companies will be able to ship much easier than what they do today.
Okay, so what do you feel the entry of the Amazon would do to the market? Will it hinder the competition or will it actually add value to the market?
Amazon has its own experiences. It's going to get in a lot of best practices for the local players also over here. But at the same time, it's going to be good competition to them also. So I think competition is always welcome. And particularly if your competitor is coming in with a lot of new best practices which you can learn by, I think it's a big market over here, a big opportunity, and with 3-4 Amazons coming into India, there is still going to be an opportunity for everybody to grow in this.
Okay, so where do you see yourself 5 years from now?
As Aramex, we are a company very focused on the domestic market. To us, domestic opportunities in India are tremendous. And the B2C side, looking at e-commerce, the entire digital space is going to be a huge opportunity for us in the next few years' time.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.